What's going on? Greetings, everybody. How's it going? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
And this is Lex back at it again with another review here for the Alamo City Movie Talk.
Movie Talk, guys. Movie Talk for movie fans. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And if you have not already, hit that little bell to get notified on our subscriber rate. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell to get notified for our movie reviews. And in this case, how many years have we been waiting for this movie, Lex? It's been a long time.
Really
13
long time.
years. I joked about it. I was all like, I know you mentioned you thought it came out in 2012. Dude, I mean, I'm with you there. Dude. I didn't know it was that long
Yeah,
ago.
I thought it was a 10-year thing.
It's over a decade. Like, I literally thought this was a decade movie.
There's teenagers
We're totally
that were
wrong.
born when the first one came out.
Bro, I don't even think I saw this one opening weekend. That's what's crazy about it. But
Really?
yeah, believe it or not. But let's get right to it, guys. This is our review of Avatar: The Way of Water, directed, story by James Cameron himself, the godfather of filmmaking, the best filmmaker out there, the one who still holds the #1 spot. Of all-time films, Titanic. I mean, he started mythologies. He really has. He started mythologies, Terminator. I mean, there's just so much you can really go off of the genius of this man. And he's a genius. Whether we like it or not, whether we want to agree with it or not, his films speak for themselves. They really do. And in this case here, I mean, how can a director outdo himself? I'm just saying that. I mean, this movie was visually just stunning. This movie, visual-wise, was just so beautifully done. I mean, 3D. When was the last time you saw a 3D movie, Lex?
I think I mentioned it, but like
I can't remember.
Was like Toy Story 4.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that might have been on 3D.
Yeah,
maybe something in between, but very scarce. Like it seems like
we
left it behind.
Yeah. And I would say because again, call me crazy, right? But I think for myself, going into a movie, for being an average moviegoer so many years ago, back in 2009, 3D was kind of popping a little bit. It was like 3D movies and everything. But I'm gonna say that Avatar, the first movie, was in 3D, and stunningly, it just created this whole like everything has to be 3D now because Avatar was just phenomenal. But you got to remember, James Cameron, he actually filmed that for 3D, filmed it for a purpose, filmed it in IMAX, just like Christopher Nolan. He makes his movies in IMAX. He wants them to get the best stunning picture out there. And James Cameron, oh my God, he outdid himself with this movie. The highest frame rate in a movie in a very, very, very long time. I mean, this is just crazy, man. So many of the
highly technical movie from top to bottom.
This movie was just visually like stunning right at you. So beautifully done. I mean, it was just 4K. I mean, it was just beautiful. The high frame rate, the 3D was popping, man. I didn't think 3D would make a comeback. But I mean, dude, call me crazy.
And I don't know about like comeback because not a lot of people can do this the way that James Cameron does. Just don't know if I would call it a comeback, but I think that what is back, it's just the highly leveled, highly detailed like wonder of what it is to build a world. And we've seen great worlds being built in cinema, even as a recent. Like I really fell in love with Dennis Villeneuve. No, I may be mispronouncing his name, but director of Dune. What he did with Dune, the franchise, it's amazing. But that's not the world that he built, right? Like he's doing his own take of the world that already existed. James Cameron's back to do what he did back in 2009 at a higher level.
Original.
At a higher level.
Dude.
And it's insane. I think that there's very few movies, and trust me, guys, when you're hearing this, like I try not to buy into the hype. I came in with Avatar with like,
I mean, we knew.
Excited.
I saw reviews.
Excited.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually didn't see. This is the first movie in a long time that I don't even tune into the reviews. I've just been busy this week, but I just came in seeing like, I hope it lives up to the hype. I hope we look back and see like, okay, that's why it took 13 years. And I can tell you that during the movie, I told that to myself like multiple times. I in my head said wow multiple times, and I don't think a lot of movie experiences do that.
No.
it's crazy. It's crazy what he's done, and just the fact that once again I came in, I told myself, well, we'll see, if it's.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it, but I was like,
Too, bro.
can it
Like,
live to that? And
yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't know. There's not a
It's
lot that I can cover without really.
yeah. There's so much. Let's talk about the visual wise. Visual
Yeah.
wise, so this movie actually was filmed mostly, guys, in water. Believe it or not. James Cameron himself, and he don't want to discuss the budget here, but the budget was very, very high, very
insane.
steep. They said that this budget might be the biggest budget in a movie in a long time. Again, there's been rumors and everything. It's been cost about 400 or 500 million to make this movie, and this is just wow. This movie felt so. And I'm gonna be comparison to.
I think that's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go. Just sorry to interrupt.
No, yeah.
And just to put into perspective, I think that is to make, but not to market. Then there's
no. Yeah, and the marketing So definitely. And you got to remember though, guys, moviegoers out there. And back in 2009, this movie did not make a lot opening weekend. It did not. Believe it or not. It only made 70-something million opening weekend, and it just grew legs like crazy, man. It was growing legs every single week and keeping that momentum going. It really did. It really showed so much of the visual stunning. I enjoyed this so much. This movie, going back to the return world of Pandora, I thought that was really good. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was really good, guys. I mean, this whole journey of you following along with the whole family here, and I'll be honest here. I did not expect them to have this much of a family. We see it a little bit in the trailers here. We see a little bit of that, emotional side of it. And I love that, dude. I loved how they got so emotional at the right moments. Zoe Saldana, oh my God, this woman killed it. Natia, she really did. She killed it so much. I enjoyed her in this a lot, way more than I thought I did. Sam Worthington actually came with Jake as well, Jake Sully, and he did very good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I fell in love way more with the kids than I did with this as a whole. I enjoyed this so much. Jake, Natia, it was almost like a send off to where like we get to see something different than what we saw in the first one. It's more than a love story here. It's a journey for a family, and we see that a lot in the trailers here. But I think
I think overall, like, it's a coming of age story. And for a moment in the movie. And this is not a spoiler, but for a moment in the movie, I kept thinking to myself, like, and this was early in the movie. I have a couple of issues with the first part of the movie, pacing wise, and also even just narratively wise. You start to wonder, and this is probably judgmental on my side, but I started to wonder, like, is it gonna capture me the way that the first movie did? Because the first movie introduced you to this world, like you said, but in the way that the story plays out, right? Like now the title is The Way of the Water. There is this whole other part of this world that we hadn't seen the way that we saw here. That it truly felt like, it's clearly not a different planet, but it truly felt
like a different planet.
Whole new world.
Whole new world.
And like you said, rather than focusing on the story of these two distant people that are from different species, showing each other the world and the way that they do things, it's about the kids coming of age. And I only saw one trailer, and when I saw like, it seems to be like a kid or maybe multiple things like that, I told myself, like, am I gonna care about the kids though? Like, because a lot of movies do that, right? A lot of movies tend to do kids, that. It's like, well, the kids are not as cool as the parents, or like I want to see the parents more, or they're gonna take a back seat. This movie, I mean, with 3 hours, you have time to make seats, right?
There's story. There's so much story with every single one of the characters. I feel like we got so much character development because of the runtime of this movie. This runtime, 3 hours and 12 minutes if you wait till the end of the credits. And I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow, the 3 hours went by quick. For me, they did.
It did. Yeah. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, like, I saw very minor things that could have been trimmed. It's very minor though, and that's a lot to say for a movie that's 3 hours and
I know,
minutes, like you said. But I did a great job at like not peeing in the middle. I
Dude, I was holding my pee. Hold your pee, guys. Hold your pee.
Yeah, you don't want to miss.
Or like, yeah, dude, or at least go in within that hour. If you're watching it for the hour, guys, go in within that first hour, because this movie is, you don't want to miss it.
And there's downtime, but like really the whole movie.
But that's the thing though. In downtime though, there's story being told there at the same time though. Like
absolutely,
yeah. So again, this is just my take here, guys. Moviegoers out there, my elements that I got out of this movie. I got familiar resemblance to other iconic films. I got Titanic. I got Jurassic Park. I got like Jurassic Park 2 Lost World vibes in here. I got it was a mixture of so many different mythologies, so many different emotional films that got me to feel such in an emotional way. And it did it 100%. Oh my God. Like Titanic. I mean, obviously Titanic is James Cameron's, baby and everything. I mean, he's with Leonardo DiCaprio in here. There was one real quick, Leonardo DiCaprio actually didn't want to do his role. He didn't want to play that character because he had to read his lines. James Cameron was, screw you then. I'm going to do it. So Leonardo DiCaprio actually decided to do it. And then that was it. It was one and done. James Cameron saw it through it. And I thought that was really good.
To me, honestly, I kept thinking back of this as a reference. It's like, oh, this reminds me, and it's not a movie, which is, I know it sounds crazy.
Tell me.
But this actually reminded me a lot of some themes found in the latest like God of War game.
Oh wow.
The God of War Ragnarok. And I mean, it goes back to like God of War 2018 for any gamers out here watching. If you've played those games and you've seen those stories told, it's also a coming of age story, and there was a lot of similarities here and there that I just feel like, once again, a lot of these things are universal. A lot of these messages are universally accepted and relatable, that doesn't matter if it's the blue people in front of the screen. Like,
exactly,
you're feeling connected to these characters, and I felt connected to the world and the creatures.
Yeah, it's similarities. Incredible. It's similarities with us, because I kind of feel like James Cameron, even though they're aliens, obviously they're aliens, there's another species. I kind of feel like he puts the human elements in them.
For sure.
He puts that so beautifully. I mean, Zoe Saldana does a phenomenal job on the emotional aspect here. I mean, we did say Sam does a phenomenal job. The kids did great as well.
The kids did amazing.
Yeah, the kids they did a phenomenal job here, and James Cameron did beautifully as a director should, as direct a movie, tell us a directional story here, and give us a beginning, middle, and an end. And I feel like he did that way more than what he needed to do.
And it sets up the next foundation for the next one.
Yeah,
you have a clearer understanding, right? Like when the last one ended, like we weren't sure, like if the world would continue to expand. Of course, like the decision was made once the money came in.
Yeah,
but this time, it's already
for sure,
been locked in,
it's already been filmed.
They have 4 movies planned. I think potentially a 5th one, but maybe 4 is the one that's crafted. And so now there's a way to end the story while setting up the next one, and not feeling super setup-ish, to be honest. Like it's not like
it did casually.
No after credit scene, right? I can say that. But it's not like your typical setup. I think it's very organic. You close this chapter, but it has a clear vision of what you should expect next. And man, I don't know. There's a lot of great things to say. Once again, I try not to buy into the hype, but just the movie, the work speaks for itself. It's
definitely
amazingly crafted. The story's great. The characters are great. And there's a vast majority of characters, to be honest. Like, I haven't seen the first one in a while. I thought I was going to get to see it before this. But there's a lot of characters introduced, and you care about all of them, and you know their motivations. So it's great.
And visually we talk about a lot of emotions here, and this film did a phenomenal job on the emotion aspect. Believe it or not, there was actually a special camera that James Cameron had on the visual effects side. A team developed an image-based facial expression capture that captured their face while they were acting, to create that, because obviously they're not blue, obviously it's all CGI. And to create that emotional expressions, like, which is, again, it looks so real. It really did. It looks surreal.
I haven't like read up much on the tech itself, right? But like, mocap stuff like has existed before, right? Like we had it with even dating back to like Lord of the Rings, for example, with Andy Serkis's work. But there are a lot of like micro expressions that video games or previous mocap, it doesn't capture absolutely everything. But here there was some, like I kept looking at like the faces and just finding things that despite them being aliens, like just once again, like micro movements that you notice that just tells your brain like this is real. So it's amazing that the technology was able to push that forward. And I remember back in, I think it was around 2013, whenever chatter started about this movie being made. But once again, this was a long time. Like they announced that they were going to make it a long time. And then like an article or something came up saying like James Cameron's just going to wait for the technology to improve. And you're like, what? Like that's crazy. Like
man with the plan,
and he did it and it paid off.
Yeah. You know, this camera actually also the one that was on their facial expressions actually captured their muscle movements as well to create that on-face look. Because look at that face. That face is just this way. Yeah, that face is just, dude. It's just insane how real it looks. Yeah, it's your right, left.
And the water on your skin, and
dude, the water, bro, the way of water. Literally was just so beautifully done. Obviously, this was filmed in water. He did a phenomenal job. Filmed it in IMAX.
And the sea creatures too, like
dude, everything.
The character, no, not character, but the creature design.
The creature, they were drawn really good. They were drawn really good, like the whales and all that. Like we see in the trailer, like the whales and all that. We can only, the whales that would be in our world, I guess. That was stunning. It was visually stunning. Was this the fun that we deserve, Lex? I'm gonna say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it over delivered. That's my personal.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
I need to watch it again, but I don't think I'll change that. It over delivered. You're in awe from beginning to end.
Me too. I really I didn't expect to love more of the different characters. Like I expected to love, of course, the two leads of the first one, right? Zoe Saldana and Sam. I thought I was gonna love them, but even more so, I didn't think a story could make me care about literally the same level as the parents, as the kids, and that's beautiful. I thought that was beautiful. That was emotionally done. James Cameron outdid himself again, and I feel like this movie's gonna grow legs. It has legs to make it. It's gonna hit the Christmas holiday season as well because it's coming out. I think this movie's gonna be in theaters for 3 months. I guarantee you, and it's gonna make so much money. It's already expected to make so much money in China, so I'm excited for this movie to come out. For moviegoers to go check this out. Rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. Lex, what do you give this rating?
This is tough. As of right now, I'm gonna say this is a 9.8 for me. It's just
bro, that's a high rating. Oh man,
I have to. It's not a perfect movie. I have problems, and I'll expand on those on the spoiler one. But just from what it accomplished at a technical and story level, that's what I have to go with.
True. Okay, so caring so much about this story, because that was the one critic thing that I saw, like a lot of critics were saying it's too much story. For me, I don't think it was too much story. That's just my take there. I didn't think it was too much story. I thought it carried the movie on its own. I felt like we got something different in this whole world. Who would have thought James Cameron creates a world out of his world all over again? It's just insane to me to think that, to say, oh yeah, James Cameron is literally creating another world out of Pandora that you visually do not see in the first movie. That's just insane to me, to make us care so much about this world, to have us care so much about these creatures, these new environments that we're going through along with these characters. I thought that was really, really done. And essentially, we get to see different Avatar species living in a different environment versus the forest, and I thought that was really good. That was really good, and we could see a lot of it in the trailer too. How it's a different, a different clan, or a totally different family here. I'm gonna have to give this a solid rating of 9.6, guys. 9.6. I'm almost up there. I mean, I could not. If you were to tell me that you're gonna care as much as this family, I'll call BS all over again. I'll say, nah, hell no. It's not gonna. I'm not gonna care about the kids. I'm not gonna no, hell no. But no, And again, I went in knowing where like, okay, critics have a problem with too much story. But for me, I thought that's its soul, that's its purpose, to give you a strong, powerful story here, an emotional story that creates those elements and just visually just does a phenomenal job here. He creates those our human, our past, our what we're dwelling with, our sorrows. He puts all his misery, whatever you want to call it, he just puts everything into this movie, and I feel like we get to see that on screen. And I know, Lex, you were crying, you're tearing up a little bit.
Why were you looking at me, bro?
Oh, I know. I saw.
Yeah. No, I teared up.
I'm not gonna lie though. Is it weird for me? Call me crazy, guys. Is it weird for me because I enjoy more seeing people get emotional on the movies that I'm getting emotional of. If that makes any sense. Again, call me crazy, but I just enjoy that. I don't know why. If a movie's meant to make a comedy and if I see other people laughing at the same jokes I am, I just get giggly. And if someone's crying in the we should have hold hands right next. We should have hold each other's hands, hold each other. But yeah, definitely. I enjoy that so much. But yeah, 9.6. We do recommend this movie, guys. Obviously, we're giving it a highest rating here.
Watch it in IMAX.
Watch it in IMAX.
My next watch, I'm gonna give not 3D a shot, but I still want it on
IMAX.
If they do IMAX non 3D, like
I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna do that. Yeah. But if you go to Regal, though, they do it in D-Box. But I don't know if they do 3D. I think they do 3D.
I'll do the Santikos AVX then. Because that won't be 3D. I know it's not IMAX, but
I want to see it again in IMAX. I'm not gonna lie, I do. I want to see it again.
All the time.
No. Go to Palladium. Palladium, bro. Go to Palladium. Yeah, go to Palladium, bro. You're like close to Palladium, anyways. But anyways, true. Yeah. Let's get right to it. All right. But thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Put on comments down below. Question is for you guys. What did you think of this movie? What did you think of our review, guys? Do you agree with us? Are you against us? You like, guys? You guys are talking crap. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Put in comments down below because we'll go at it. We love to talk movies here in the Movie Talk studio. And hey, let us know your thoughts down below. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
This is Lex. Thank you guys, and catch you guys on the next one.
If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, guys. Get subscribed, hit that button to get notified for our movie reviews in this case or our trailer reactions. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay safe, San Antonio. Peace.